Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Thank you. Good morning and welcome. Happy Friday, people.
Hello. We are live on Facebook and Instagram, as always, talking about all the marriage things that matter to y'all, answering your questions and doing all the things. And every day we do 4 things, but before I tell you about those 4 things, I'm going to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Anatomy of Marriage app. We have an app to help your relationship. It's a couples counseling app that's fast, fun, and never boring. Y'all, we teach it. It's us. We're geniuses. Right. We have other teachers. We have amazing tools and all that stuff. Check it out at anatomyofmarriage.com.
We're geniuses. That's a great statement. And I want to take 2 minutes or a couple minutes to say Hey, Sammy, what's up? Happy Juneteenth.
That's right.
If you guys aren't familiar with what Juneteenth is,
Google it.
Go look it up. Let's celebrate it. It's a good day. Post it on your socials. Hashtag Juneteenth. It's an important thing. So let's celebrate it. Let's change this paradigm and do our work, people. And if you haven't listened to the For Whites Only podcast, I highly encourage you guys to go listen to it. We want everybody to wake up and do their part.
Hello,
and
Aaron
be good people. So, hey, Aaron.
And as always, it's great to be with you guys this morning. So we're going to dive in. We start our day every time with prayer. We do a gratitude, and then we do intentions. We encourage you guys to do this together. Look, Popsicle Toes joined us. That's a great name.
It's a Popsicle Toes.
So do you want to pray or do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Gonna think of a funny
Come
prayer.
on now.
Dang it, okay. Thank you, God, Creator, for your blessings. Thank you for the sun that we're having today. Thank you for the show. Thank you for all the people that listen to it. And thank you that it's good for us and good for them. I pray that it continues to be that way. And thank you very much. Amen.
Amen. Pray together, y'all. And don't get mad at me that I stopped Seth from talking about popsicle toes. Everybody be writing in. Oh, Melanie, you're so mean.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
so what's your gratitude? Say it.
My gratitude is I am very thankful that, this is going to sound weird, but I wanted to buy Seth a grill for Father's Day.
A griddle.
A griddle. And we are not really financially in the, well, I mean, we could go out and get it today, but we don't want to spend our money unwisely. And I'm like, I'm not going to just buy it as a gift because you're really picky and I want you to get exactly what you want.
Right.
So I said, I kind of threw it your direction and I drew a grill on our whiteboard and said, And he, you did like research, you found the one you wanted, and then you said, you know what, let's save for it and take our time, as opposed to buying it today, which is what we normally would do. And I am thankful because that is a sign of growth. So thank you.
Good. I'm glad.
Good.
Thank you for thanking me.
What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for that you, usually, you are polite in most ways. Like if I hurt myself or sneeze or whatever, or you stub my toe, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. You're very kind and polite in that way. And just like this morning you were asking, is your mic cord long enough? Oh, let me fix it for you, kind of thing. You're polite in that way, and I am thankful that you're that way. And then that makes me think of, I want you to grow in other ways.
Cool.
That's kind of funny. But I am thankful for that. What's up, Andy Gillis? What's up, Renee Ray? Ooh, I like that.
I do
so
too.
Thank you for that. Thank you for being intentional around that. My intention is today, oh boy, so are you okay?
My allergies are kicking in. Keep talking.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. It's a solo show today, people. She's sneezing her brains out. So no,
Keep talking.
My intention today is to prepare to step up for phase 2 of the phase 2 of the 75 Live Hard program. I'm starting it on Father's Day, and when I do that, when I'm running on all 4, 6, 8 cylinders, then I'm a good husband to you, I'm a good dad, and I'm good all around. So she's still sneezing. What's up, Delano? What's up, Kendra? All right, you done with the sneeze fest?
No, I'm not. So intentions are relationship intentions, right?
Yes, they are. But so I say if I'm on track with those things, it's intentional. I become more intentional and more thoughtful and more present in all these things when I do those things, and that is for you and the family.
Cool. My intention is to grow in whatever way you wanted me to grow earlier. Something about being polite. I don't even know. I can't think. I'm sneezing.
Okay, so I'll read the question today.
Oh my gosh.
So what's up,
I have really
Sam?
bad allergies, and they just kicked in yesterday.
Okay, so I'm taking over the show, people.
All right.
Real therapy, right? Okay, let's see. My partner, when around his friends, has a problem with self-control.
Read it slow, please.
Sorry. If one friend in particular is around and there's alcohol, my partner gets so wasted he makes himself sick. If there's weed, my partner will keep smoking as long as it's there, even if his other friends have turned it down because they are already high. This is a friend that he used to go out and party with all the time before we got together, that he used to pick up women so casually with. This friend really is a nice person. I just do not approve of his lifestyle, and I do not approve of my partner's behavior when this person is around. This friend has a decent job, but that is it. He is lonely, depressed, and his life is pretty vacant of substance, which, as an outsider, is pretty obvious. His buddies think he's fun. My partner has more to lose than this guy, and I don't want him to be so easily influenced. How do I bring up this without sounding like I am judging my partner or one of his best friends? I know I am, but I need a way of delivery that is more sensitive. Thank you for doing what you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for sending in that question. That is, it's so common. Like, it's so common for relationships and to have, I mean, I feel like we went through that a lot when
you didn't like anybody in the band.
It's not that I didn't like them.
Right.
I think that together you guys were making really dumb choices. Mm-hmm. And it's like the everything is permissible but not everything is beneficial Bible verse.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, of course you can go to the testicle festival and get as drunk as you could possibly get. Mm-hmm. Is that helpful?
Right.
Does that help when we're trying to plan a wedding? Mm-hmm. Like, does that help when you say you'll call me and you're wasted, or you call me and you're that? So it's that vibe. It's not your friends are idiots. It's your friends are making you an idiot because they're kind of acting like idiots. Right. So, but I want to say thank you for sending the question in, and that's a really common issue that tons of people deal with. What are your initial thoughts? I know we've got loads to say about it.
Yeah, well, I have more initial thoughts about the last part of the question. How do I bring this up without sounding like I am judging my partner or judging someone else's behavior? People are really kind of scared these days to be like, well, I don't want to, push my opinion on you, or I don't want to be too judgy, right, or whatever. But sometimes it's okay to judge. It's okay to judge. It's okay to share your opinion. There's a really great quote was, we can disagree without disrespecting.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
Good.
So you can disagree. I think that's the thing that caused all problems. You disagreed with a lot of the things we did in the band and all this stuff, and you were really disrespectful.
Yeah,
and
I put
super judging. Right?
I made a Nerf gun of disrespect and disagreement, and mowed you down every time I had a thought.
And of course, when somebody does that all the time, then I'm just like,
super defensive.
I'm literally not listening to you.
Right.
I'm not going to pick up the phone when you call.
Right.
Kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Then you got bit by a snake. It was your fault.
I did.
You actually did get bit by a snake.
That was crazy. But anyway, so you can disagree, you can disapprove without disrespecting, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to think, oh, I don't want to be judgy because this, we can't judge anybody. God forbid we judge people in these days, right? But you can constructively, what's up, drums and fly fishing?
Ooh.
You can constructively say your thoughts, say your opinions, and say your wants in a very respectful way. One, using the clearing structure, and two, just saying that, hey, when you go out with your friends, and okay, let's just say this doesn't happen, but this might be a typical kind of, man to woman thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, when you go out with your friends, you literally lose track of how much money you spend.
Right. And
this happens all the time, and I've asked you not to, and we can't, but you're still doing it. What's going on, right?
He is making this up. I do not go out or spend money.
You don't do that, and I don't do...
Right, you don't do the other...
I don't really
You don't go out and drink and all that jazz. So.
Right, I mean, I might go out hunting for a long time, but...
And get drunk with all the deer. Cheers me.
And shoot 3 of them. Anyway, this also makes me think of you right there with the shoulders,
yes,
are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most, right? And that's just something to think about. So that's a way that you could bring it up to your partner, kind of thing. I don't know, is this friend, are you pitying him when you go hang out with him? Mm-hmm. Because, high school buddies, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And oftentimes, when we kind of graduate or level up and our friends don't graduate and level up, we feel sorry for them. We feel like we feel weird. It can get awkward. And then we're going to maybe do things that we typically wouldn't do normally.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I honestly can't even think of an example in my own personal life, but
Think of it like this. Think of it in a work relationship. This is going to sound weird, but think of initially maybe you meet your best friend in the mailroom and you guys are like, you letter sort or whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. And that's the job that you have together. Maybe you have that together for 4 years. But then you want to move up to the next tier. You want to have higher pay. You want to have an office. You want to be a whatever it is. And it would be as if you had your office, you got that job, but you kept going back to the mailroom all the time. You're going to lose this job, right? Staying in the mailroom when you've got this other job now is going to put this job at risk. And then you certainly aren't going to become CEO if you keep hanging out in the mailroom, right?
Right.
And we all go through growth and phases and we change and we're supposed to. And not every friend is appropriate for every season of our life. That doesn't mean that you shoot those friends a bird and tell them, you're garbage junk, get out of here. You don't have to do that. You just move on. You can still talk to them. When you see them, you can be cool, you can like text and whatever, but you don't need to hang out as much. And you don't, but then again, you do not need to say, I cannot hang out with you.
Right.
I am above your social status.
Right.
Like, it's not what we're doing here.
So I want to get back to like how this woman may be feeling, or what she can say to her partner. So if her partner has no self-control, it's like, oh geez, there's weed, let's go, baby.
Right.
You know, or if there's chocolate cake, okay, give me half of it, kind of thing. Or if there's all the beer or all the bottles or whatever, what's up with that? You know,
Right.
I would ask this guy, like, hey, you know, is this a form of coping that gets out of hand, or is it like once a month that, you know, you go to your buddy's house and he's always has weed and you get, you know, smoked or drunk or whatever? Like, okay, maybe let's think about that. Is that super helpful? Obviously, your partner doesn't like it. She's not thrilled about it. Maybe let's re-examine that. Maybe can you hang out and say, yo, I'm not going to smoke with you today, right? Which can be hard because there's peer pressure and stuff like that. Well, and
it's stupid to even think like, and I'm not trying to say what you just said is stupid, but if you hang out with this person, or if your husband goes and hangs out with this guy or his friends, there's no way that you can limit what you smoke or drink because you get drunk and high and you go, have more.
It's almost like saying, hey, let's meet, but today let's meet at the strip club, but I mean, I'll go there, but I'm not going to look at anything. We're just talking to my friend.
But we're just hanging out there. I will not look at anything.
Right. It's like, okay, don't kid yourself.
And just to clarify, like, we've been drunk, we've been stoned. We know what we're talking about. We're not, like, theorizing, like, oh, well, I mean, I'm guessing. No, I used to do that all the time when I was in, like, middle school and high school. Thanks, Renton.
No, you said it wrong.
Renton. But I want to just be serious here. Like, you cannot expect that your husband could go to this friend's house and only smoke a little. Because when you get stoned, you don't know you're stoned, and you don't know that you're even smoking more.
In AA circles, Alcoholics Anonymous circles, they talk about beers. Like, you get drunk off the first sip.
Right.
Because you're like, oh, it's cool, but then it's like. Have you ever, it's like, okay, I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm just going to lay down. You know? I'm just going to lay down. And then, of course, what happens? You know?
Like the disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane.
I
just thought that was really funny.
Yeah, so, you know, hey, bro, don't kid yourself here.
Right.
Kind of thing. And so for the partner, I want to, like, circle, because we're not talking to the dude, we're talking to the woman. Use the clearing structure. Go to anatomymarriage.com or the Anatomy of Marriage app and get the clearing structure and talk to him about how you feel about this. Like, hey, when you go to your friend's house and get, you know, just blitzed out of your brain, it makes me feel like, hey, what's going on?
Right.
Bill says, I believe that some men go through periods of missing our youth and freedoms. When we have more responsibilities, we miss those days of hanging out with friends and not just thinking, being able to stay in the moment and not care about the next bill. That is a good point. Excellent. Because you're just like, I've told you this before, I just want to live. You know? I just want to live. And like, my buddies said that.
Makes me want to just like leave. You want to live? I want to leave.
Can I just live? Live? And so, but I want you to understand you know, I'm not just saying.
Yeah, you're a baby. I get it. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
I'm hanging up this microphone right now.
Link.
Right. No, there's a part, like Bill is saying, there's a part of that. Sure, like maybe you don't think, well, you definitely don't think this because you're like one in a bajillion, but some people, oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah, some people.
That's a good song. Some people are like, man, yeah, the responsibilities, but So as a dad, as a husband, on the guy side, it's like we're doing our responsibilities. Like we're kicking it all the good places that we need to, right? And sometimes just like, man, I want to go back and go hang out with my friends. You know, it's like almost a free pass, not to go to like strip clubs or cheat or anything like that, but just like, hey, you know what? We're going to go out and I'm going to spend a bunch of money and we're going to be safe and not stupid. We're just going to be like, chill.
Right.
You know
and
what
it sounds like
so
to me...
I like what Bill says
Yeah.
there, and I don't know if it's this. I think there's a lot of speculations that I could do here. It's like, okay, this dude feels bad for his stoner friend who's depressed. He doesn't want to leave him because they went to high school together, and he doesn't want to like leave him high
his
and dry,
friend.
you know?
Yeah.
Or he's like, yeah, I'm super stressed out about this stuff. Can I just smoke once a month or something like that?
Right.
Or whatever. But if it becomes a problem, then of course, if you're always looking towards your goals, Melanie, you forget to smell the flowers and be present. I read a thing.
Shut up!
You know what? Andy Frisilla of 75 Hard wrote a post about that this morning, and he's a bajillionaire.
He
and
wrote,
he does,
Melanie, if you're always looking for your goals. what
yeah,
did he
he's
say?
like, he's got his eye on you. No, he says, in fact, he says, yeah, although I have an excellent life, and for 20 years I've grinded so hard, and he's a bajillionaire, so
Right.
he's worked super hard. He came up out of nothing, and he's like, yeah, if I had it to do over again, I would actually stop and smell
Right.
some flowers and be like, okay, I don't have to be crazy intense today, which is fine. And maybe that's called self-care, or like taking a break, or keeping it balanced in some
Right.
way. You know what? So,
And what this makes me think of is when you posted that, the first one, like, you feel like you are missing your freedoms, you want to go back to your youth and not being responsible. The thing that, he says, no disrespect, the thing that popped into my mind is that we need to, what I feel like is lacking from this conversation is we are upgrading our life, we are leveling up in our, we're getting married, we're having kids, we're getting a better job, we're making more money, but we're not leveling up in how we relax. We're just going back to what we always did as a kid. Which, I mean, Nintendo was a great way to relax.
So
Play
that
some
goes-
Mario Bros.
that goes to what I was saying actually this morning. And also what Sadhguru says. It's like when we smoke or drink, or I wouldn't want, so if I want to relax, the best way to do it is to be fully present, and my mind and body knows how to relax, right?
Right.
But we've been tricked into thinking like, oh no, how to relax, you go drink, or you go
Right.
smoke,
We
or you
twist
go
it-
do
yeah.
something. But if I want to relax to 100%, it's like, do I want my surgeon, if I'm going to have brain surgery,
Right.
to drink a couple of beers to relax before he does surgery? No, I want his mind fully functioning, right? So if I want to relax, I want to be fully functioning. I told you this literally like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Hey, I'm doing phase 2 again of 75 Hard. I am looking forward to, at night, with one of the workouts, doing just stretching and listening to be like on full relax mode, all cylinders going.
Right.
Not drinking. I don't smoke anyway, but not drinking to be like, oh yeah, relaxing, but like to be body relaxed, stretch out, yoga, whatever.
So
it is.
essentially what we're saying though is like we need to change how we relax. And it's the same thing as like if I relaxed the way I relaxed when I was 15, I would be smoking weed and partying. I don't want to do that as a mom. I don't want to do that at all.
Dang it.
But now
I'm just kidding.
gross. Now, and I will
judge
say
me.
that gross again. Gross. And this takes a lot of self-awareness because I can't remember who was asking me about this, but the traditional things that Americans think of as relaxing, I do not. I do not enjoy watching TV. I do not enjoy watching like cat videos.
You used to.
Yeah, I used to enjoy those things all the time, but until I realized that is not making me relaxed. It is not making me feel good and happy. It is the opposite of smelling the roses, in my opinion, to do that kind of thing. But it's very countercultural, and people look at me and go, "You never relax. Why aren't you doing whatever?" I'm like,
Question.
yoga is the most relaxing thing I can think of.
You have been super judgy and opinionated, and still are, right? And
Keep talking.
my relaxation is going to look different from yours, right?
Yeah.
I love sitting on the couch with Nixon and watching a show.
Nixon is what we call our kid.
Our middle kid, yeah. Watching a
name's
show,
Todd.
right?
And I don't
love
judge you for that.
Sometimes you do.
No, I don't.
You don't?
Why would I judge
Maybe
you
I
for
feel
that?
judged.
That could be a thing. I do not care
Right.
if you do it. But I think you feel judged when I don't want to watch it. The last human I want to watch is Coyote Jefferson or whatever his name is. stinging himself with a wasp. I could not care less.
Right.
Or I mean, and I don't care. Like, watch it, but I'm not gonna watch it.
Right.
Or like, what's his name? Bear Grylls. Go on ahead and float down your river with your life jacket under your hoodie and pretend your backpack floats.
What a poser.
Don't throw shade, but I ain't gonna watch it.
You can throw shade when there's shade to be thrown, girlfriend.
He had a life jacket on under his hoodie. You could see it, and he's like, "My backpack floats. Look." No, it doesn't. Yeah, it floats because there's a buoy in it. Anyway.
Okay.
So, but I do want to talk about how this idea of like leveling up the things that make you feel relaxed, and in the other option though in this, and someone might get mad at me, is if this is something that's okay to do once or twice, like once every other month, and you guys love this friend and you say, you know what, go do a fun thing, that's fine. Maybe that's fine. But if he's doing it every week, every day, every other night, or if you, it's sort of, there is so much to take into consideration here because it's different. Like if you went to Matt's house and you're like, yeah, we're going to get drunk once a night or once a month and smoke weed and sit and talk. I'd be like, whatever, I'm not going. Sure. And Seth doesn't smoke weed. I'm not saying that they would ever do that. But I would not want to go, for one. I hate all that stuff. I wouldn't want you to do it because you are a ding-a-ling when you get drunk. You think everything's amazing. I wouldn't want you to do that.
Right.
But if you wanted to do it and it was safe and it didn't ruin anything and you weren't like calling strippers and driving around and doing crazy stuff, sure, I guess. Like, if it's no big deal, right? But she's obviously saying it is a big deal. So I don't know. I just want to say there's flexibility here. There is working together and coming to an agreement that works for everybody.
Right.
I don't want Seth to smoke weed. I do not want him to go drinking with his friends. So let me be very clear about that. I have boundaries around that. But if you could do those things in a way that was not scary, not dangerous, you weren't like, blowing out every whatever. You weren't spending money. You weren't whatever. I don't know.
Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial, right? And so what are the boundaries around that? What is the balance around that?
Right.
Is what I'm asking.
Right. And in here too, she says, how do I bring this up without sounding like I'm judging my partner or one of his best friends? I know I am, but I need a way of delivery that is more sensitive. The clearing structure in in the Anatomy of Marriage app, which you can get at anatomyofmarriage.com. You can get it on the app store or whatever. You can get it for every device. The clearing structure is interactive. It's incredibly helpful. It will actually generate a paragraph for you of your concerns, how to fix them, your thoughts. It guides you through it so that you don't get flooded, you don't get confused, you don't lose track.
It's like a marriage robot.
It's a marriage robot.
Right? And
it's like the Rosie in the Jetsons.
The Jetsons. So here's another thing. For questions like this, which we get questions like this all the time that range from infidelity to impotence to vaginismus to pornography to like, how do I say this? You guys, we've partnered with getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to get hooked up with a licensed counselor. I say this all the time. I'm a licensed counselor. Go there. It's confidential. It's HIPAA compliant. It's easier than going to an office and making an appointment and doing insurance and all this stuff. Getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage is really helping people, and I see the results from that, the statistics, and you guys are going to it. You literally are going to it, and we are so happy because you know what that means? It means that people are getting help.
Yes.
I'm a therapist. It's my profession. People are utilizing this resource to get over trauma, to have better marriages, to process their own emotions, to decrease anxiety, to increase self-esteem, to increase happiness at getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage.
And you can at Faithful Counseling, you can get a therapist that specializes in these types of things. Right. Is it like addiction? Is it, I don't know, trauma? There's a questionnaire on the website, which is absolutely amazing.
And I haven't talked about this much, but there are all kinds of therapies. Did you know that there are, what is it called? It's stages of life therapy.
No.
Yeah, which is like specializes in things that maybe a 35-year-old mom would be going through typically.
That's
right?
interesting.
And the research around it, it's a life cycle, life stage, life cycle therapy.
There's equine therapy.
Yeah, well, you can't do that online.
I'm
of
just
course,
saying,
because it's a horse.
There's other kinds of
therapy.
therapy.
There's all kinds of therapy.
Ecotherapy. Like
ecotherapy is
nature
a thing. Experiential therapy, which is
love
another
therapy.
cool thing. So
Oh,
we had
yeah.
a great conversation yesterday with one of our new friends and at Hilltop Counseling down in St. George, Utah, and they do ecotherapy outdoor experiential rafting trips, and we got invited to one, and
We
we're not going to
can't
be able to go.
It clashes with my family's summer vacation, which my parents paid for.
Boring.
Excuse me. Y'all are about to see a fight IRL. So no, we want to tell you about Hilltop Counseling and their like rafting adventure trip. It's July. What did we say? 22nd?
22nd to the 25th.
And in St. George, Utah. It looks phenomenal. We are going to work with them.
Right.
And next time they have one, we're going to do a whole thing. But seriously, check them out. I think what's their website? I don't even know
I
it.
think it's hilltopcounseling.com.
We'll share it on our Facebook page and everything because it looks amazing. I wish so badly that we could go.
I know.
But we'll be in Iron Springs and you'll be
So-
drunk. I'm just kidding.
So, all right, we love you guys.
We are
wait a
not
minute.
done.
That's right.
We are not done.
Question.
My shirt says "Hello there." It was my sister's. She had it in the Goodwill bag. I took it.
My shirt.
I
has
wear
holes
like
under the
basically only my sister's Goodwill clothes and my mom's Goodwill clothes.
All right, what else we
So
got?
this is the other thing I wanted to say is that in this question she says, how do I bring this up without sounding like I'm judging my partner or one of his best friends? And I want to really address this because it's not about judging the partner, the friendship, the whatever. It's about weighing the value of that against what your goals are. So if your goal is, I want to have a steady, healthy marriage, I don't want to be worried about my partner maybe like doing something inappropriate or getting stoned and driving or whatever it is, you have to judge the behavior against the goals of your life.
Right.
If you guys have kids, this stuff shouldn't be happening at all. Like if you've got little kids, I think there should definitely be some serious boundaries around that kind of behavior with little kids. It's different as your kids get older and they're not. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like
It makes a lot of sense, and that is something that a woman, a mom, would keenly feel because
Right.
like that biological need for safety and security.
Right.
If your man is out there like getting drunk and being a dummy, then you're gonna be like, hey, the mother hen, your nesting kind of instinct comes in.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
taking
think-
you're taking a layer of safety away from your wife
Right.
when you're out there drinking and being an idiot.
I would love to do a show about that, and we kind of hit on it, but a full show about like the actual, not cultural expectations, but the actual biological kind of evolutionary,
Right.
even
Ego bio.
spiritual roles that a man plays and that a man feels as important that will never go away, and then that thing that a mom feels,
Yeah.
even from like sexual attraction. It's like, and all these studies, which are fascinating to me, is like you find the opposite sex attractive when you know that they can provide or they're safe or they're strong kind of thing. And I was listening to a Marissa Peer talk, I think it was in her book actually, that cisgender couples, like I like smooth curves and like
You like the opposite of what you have.
exactly,
Right.
and you
long
like
hair, like a curvy body,
things that I don't have, right?
boobs.
Yes, but woohoo!
Okay. Thanks.
And then you are attracted to, I don't know, a jawline that's hairy with a beard or whatever, or like muscles. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really super interesting. But that was a side tangent, and I apologize. But it would be a really fascinating conversation.
Don't apologize to me. I'll get hate mail for it. I love you. No, I think it's interesting to think about this from that perspective, I guess. Like, you have a goal to be safe as what? Yes, boobs, Bill says.
Chris says, I'd love to hear an episode on that, Seth. Yeah, it's a fascinating subject, so.
Yeah, but I do think, get the clearing structure in the Anatomy of Marriage app. Go to anatomyofmarriage.com to get the app, or you can get it on iTunes or where. I don't even know where you get apps. I can never say it right.
App Store.
The App Store. But I really think this is a conversation that should be had. These are conversations that we have had. And when we think about what our goals are, I think it clarifies a lot of things for us. Like think that if you were out drinking a lot, I have a problem with drinking because it makes you dumb. There's nothing you can do. That's the nature of alcohol.
Right.
It makes you think you know what you're doing. It also makes you mean. You fight with the kids even if you've had a beer. You fight with our kids more. So there's a lot about it that I'm like, I have a very strong line about it. I'm not mean to you, like you can drink and stuff, but I will let you know how I feel about it, and I will let you know what my boundaries are. And I'm not worried about it hurting your feelings, because if it's hurting your feelings, that tells me we're not on the same page and we don't have the same goals.
It's the same as, wait a minute, our money goals are XYZ. If this hurts your feelings that I'm calling you out, that you're spending a ton, then sorry, Charlie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever listened to Eckhart Tolle?
Very
similar to Sadhguru, with a focus on conscientiousness and being in the present moment.
Yes, I have, and I listened to...
I love that you know Sadhguru.
I love that you interrupt me.
Oh, gosh. I want to listen to Eckhart Tolle, but his voice drives me bonkers.
Yeah.
I got to get there.
It is funny. Yes, I was listening to him when I was doing 75 Hard, and just listened to him at night as I walked for 45 minutes straight. And it blew my mind out.
Do you recommend a book, Bill? Like, what Eckhart Tolle stuff do you like? Oh, it says, I believe the teachings would work great with the clearing structure. Ooh.
Mel, you are not a bee, you're wonderful.
Who said that? Oh.
Samantha. Thanks, Sammy.
You got my back,
I don't
girl.
think she's a bee.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
but yes. Yes?
I can't think of the book. I have it on my thing.
The New World or whatever it is?
I think it
something
is.
World?
Yeah. I don't know. It's his most famous one.
Right.
And it truly is amazing. It is really
I'll
good.
have to listen to it. I have a credit coming up soon. I have an Audible credit coming tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow.
Well, that's good. And if you guys want to listen to it too, go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. Seriously, get a free book there. Who doesn't want a free book, right? audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage.
You can listen to Eckhart Tolle and his crazy voice.
That's right. He is good. So, okay, now on to the conversation starters on our app, Anatomy of Marriage.
Okay, so we are going into our app, the Anatomy of Marriage app, and I am in the conversation starters section under Our Story, which is a category of conversation starters.
All right, lay it on me.
Here is the first question. This is actually appropriate for this. That's funny. What is your favorite way to relax after a long day?
Okay, that's good.
You guys pop your answers into the feed if you're live with us.
I like being outside. Like, chopping down briars with a machete is really relaxing to me. I love it.
With your mother's lucky machete?
My lucky machete. Or sitting on the couch with a kid watching Lord of the Rings, literally just not thinking about something, you know, because that's in balance. Oh, for 12 hours I've been working and thinking and talking about AOM and being a dad and parenting and being a husband and all this stuff. You know, 30 minutes to an hour or watching a movie, that's in balance. When you just don't think about stuff, right? Hey, sister girl. Hold on, girlfriend. 1 second. Huh? Yes. Okay, so what about your favorite way to relax? How do you relax?
I think if I could think of any way to relax after a long day, which I often don't get to do because of kids. I know that sounds really weird, but like, if you
make it a priority and are intentional, you can do it.
Yeah, I'll shout at the door. Go away, kids! I'm relaxing. No, I think if I could do anything, it would be like swimming. I can't. Like if I could have a swimming pool here and a hot tub here and like a yoga spot with sand. I did yoga on the beach and it's the best. Yeah, like yoga in sand.
So I know that you like swimming, so you would like to swim.
Yeah, if I could relax in any way, it would be swimming and yoga.
What if you got a wetsuit and literally went to Lake Wilderness and swam?
I'd get toxic mold or whatever it is, slime from the lake.
So that's a good question, but anyway.
But since I can't do that, I would like to read in a hammock and not be interrupted 9,000 times.
I sat in a hammock yesterday when you did your walk, and it was pretty chill. So,
I love our hammocks.
Thanks, Aaron, for sending this in. Favorite way to relax at the end of the day? Snuggle with my kids while reading a book with them. That's pretty good. That's definitely not my favorite way. But
our kids interrupt like 1,000 times. Or fishing. That would be great. Oh, fly fishing would be really cool on a river. Yep. I love fly fishing and I love rivers. I don't like to catch fish, but I like to pretend to catch fish.
So I'll tell you the truth, and I wanted to get back to this actually. And
the power of now. Okay, I'm going to read that one.
Thanks.
What's the truth? I'm so sorry.
Anyway, not fly fishing, but fishing in the river, in the Cedar River or Snoqualmie River out here. You go out there, you find a rock, you drop a rooster tail in, and you catch trout, and it is so awesome. There's bear tracks in the sand.
You know what's funny is when I was a kid, we would buy rooster tails and just play with them.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
did too.
Like that was I loved that kind of thing.
Because they were like nice and shiny. Lexi says reading or coloring on the patio, being outside and being still but doing something too, very relaxing. Or walking, except in the south where it's 1,000,000 degrees sometimes. Yeah, there's some humidity there.
Humidity. What was your favorite part of our first date?
Well, let's make sure we're on the same page of our first date.
So what one do you consider? Goodwill or the lake?
I thought that was into both. I thought it was both at the same time.
I don't know.
Oh, and I thought also one of the first date was down in Portland.
Oh, I guess that probably was.
I think that was my
wasn't
favorite.
A date.
That was my favorite.
We drove down to Portland when
Oregon.
we like on our first actual date hangout, and we
went to a
had
sushi
sushi
restaurant.
at. Is it Sinju Sushi?
Sinju's, yeah, and then drove back. That was fun. That was exciting. That was everything was new. So
Right.
yeah,
I loved that. That was really fun. So, what's your favorite part of your first date with your spouse?
That's right.
And what are ways that you like to relax? Talk to your spouse about it.
sorry about
what
that.
Have you done? You've done
you
something
guys,
crazy.
Happy Friday. More happy is Happy Juneteenth. Go look it up. Research it. Tell your mom about it. She might not know. Tell people you know.
Tell your aunties.
Right. Go listen to For Whites Only, the episode we did a couple of 2 weeks ago or so.
Sushi on our first date too.
That's awesome.
Sushi's the best.
Family Money Adventure sounds good.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
guys, we love you. We'll catch you Monday, right? If you're lucky, we might throw up a live or two over the weekend. Happy Father's Day coming up. And
Yes.
we will see you.
Right, and make sure that you get the app. Get the clearing structure in the Anatomy of Marriage app. Go to anatomyofmarriage.com or get it in the App Store. It's on all devices, all the things you can do it and you can use it. And if you need counseling, if you need help, if you are struggling, if you can't figure out why you're stuck in your marriage, if you want things to be better, go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage and get the counselor that is right for you. Have a great weekend, y'all. We love you.
Thanks, Chris.
And we'll see you later.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.